Hello, this testimony is in favor of LD 1215, an act to end the sale of flavored tobacco. Good afternoon, Senator Baldacci, Representative Meyer, and honorable members of the Joint Standing Committee on Health and Human Services. My name is Georgie Kendall, and I live in Perry in Washington County. I am here today to testify in favor of LD 1215, an act to end the sale of flavored tobacco products. Like almost everyone who used nicotine now and used to use it, I started smoking when I was just a teenager. This is back when we had a butt hut at school. I loved menthol the best because it tasted good and didn't smell as bad with my long, thin cigarettes. The butt hut was this place where I went to hang out with my friends because I felt like a cool kid and I wanted to be accepted into a group of friends. Fear of not being accepted into social groups in middle and high school is real. I smoked for 10 years, even with hospitalizations from asthma in my youth. I kept smoking even when I was out of breath as a young adult. Then I quit at the age of 26. Now let's leap forward a few decades. I have visited many schools in Washington County where I often ask a blanket question. Raise your hand if you have tried a vape. 80% of these students in the classes with me raised their hands, starting in 8th grade. From talking to kids in schools over the last 10 years as a public health professional, I can tell you that nicotine use in the form of vaping is still being used as a tool to be cool. These days, there's the coolness of the electronic vaping devices themselves, which are disguised as slick thumb drives and disposable single-use plastic tubes with really sweet, great tasting, and youthful sounding flavors, like Tutti Frutti or Unicorn Milk. These are marketed using the researched and effective tactics of targeted advertising and social media for youth. And they use fun, bright colors to attract the attention of our youth. They sound and feel like food and candy, and there are so many flavors. Menthol is minty fresh, right? It is the most dangerous flavor of them all. It makes you breathe more deeply to get that minty freshness in, and it makes that nicotine even more addictive. The advertising departments of tobacco companies spent $45 million a year in Maine. $45 million just in Maine, specifically targeting poor rural youth. Keep in mind that Washington County still has high levels of youth tobacco use initiation with cigarettes too. Youth cigarette use in 2021 was 12% compared to a state rate of 7%. And menthol is being pushed on our kids through both vaping devices and cigarettes here. We should all be scared. I know a lot of parents are, and they do not know what to do to stop this. I've been approached by them. What can we do, Georgie? We are overwhelmed. I'm here to speak for those parents. It's our job as adults to understand the very real costs to youth mental and physical health and the dangers of addiction, and then to make the right decision for them and for us. Everybody bears the burden of the cost of tobacco use and nicotine addiction. It isn't an individual decision, regardless of what you may be hearing. Not only are there the health care costs, which everybody literally pays for, but there's also the disruptions to family life and student education when they violate school tobacco use policies. It's not just parents. Talk to teachers and librarians who say that students cannot sit still in study hall for 45 minutes. They are jittery, irritable, and need their nicotine fix. And there's disruptions to community life and the economy. When a parent is out of work because their kid has constant respiratory problems due to irritation from second and third-hand smoke, this costs our economy money. When chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease skyrocket, that costs money. When Washington County has to pay for one of the highest rates of cancer in the state, that costs money. When Washington County families have to deal with one of the highest cancer mortality rates in the state, there's no amount of money that can make up for that. Tobacco use and nicotine addiction costs us money, and it costs us family members. And it starts with young people. Almost no one starts a nicotine habit as an adult. It starts with young people getting addicted, and right now, it's the flavors that are getting them hooked. We need to protect our kids. This is not negotiable. This is our responsibility as adults, and we need your help. Ending the sale of flavored tobacco, including the sale of menthol, will help to reduce our youth exposure to products that are designed to addict them and provide the tobacco companies with lifelong customers. Our neighbor Massachusetts banned the sales of flavored tobacco and menthol in June of 2020. And our neighbor Vermont passed a flavored tobacco ban that included menthol. It is Maine's turn to step up to the plate. Please vote to support LD 1215, an act to end the sale of flavored tobacco. Thank you.